Hello, and welcome to Gwent. So, you guys asked, what are the best new cards, which ones should you consider crafting, and why? And we're just gonna look at the cards that are gonna be useful in most of your decks, so to speak. But also gonna quickly mention the cards that are just pretty useful in least relevant archetypes. So, out of the neutrals, this is a good list because it lists all the new cards. Out of the neutrals, Reconnaissance sees use in many decks. I actually use it in many of my decks. And none of the cards here, like, yeah, Shield sees some play in a very special deck, and Fraught, I guess, can see play in a Dwarf deck. Very special No Realm deck with the spotters. But the main good card here is Ciri Nova. She actually sees play in many decks, and actually her limitation is not that hard to achieve, especially in Scoia'tael. So it's definitely a good card because for some sacrifice of making your deck less synergetic, having a 25-point finisher is a decent deal. Even if you like lose like 1 point on your bronzes, like here and there, like you gain like 1 point on her, like she's a very strong finisher. You wanna make sure that you play her every time, and she definitely fits in his this list because I see her played in many factions, and often like the decks are kind of set up in a way that she fits in Ciri Nova. Well, it's kind of like a Ciri Nova deck, kind of. She's considered the key, but like it's just a good deck with Ciri Nova in it. It's kind of hard to talk about monsters. They got a little bit changed, and they kind of, yeah. These are the consume pieces, and unfortunately, I have to say, like, none of these are so impressive so far. Even as an archetype, I saw some play with I saw some play the relic archetype, but it's not that convincing. Or of course you can consider this as consume. You can try to, you probably want these, at least in the beast archetype with the moonlight. These are probably you can forget about. But the card you probably should consider getting is Goliath, just for the finisher. He's a 17. He's not gonna be amazing, but many times you can easily get away with it. So this is the one card you probably want to have in most of your decks. Of course, it's not gonna fit in all the decks, but it's a 17. It says 6, but it's actually a 17 power silver, and that's quite relevant many times. And it's easier to play than Commander's Horn, for example. I do have it. It's just an easy card to include, and it's good for finisher. But these are the new cards. Of course, the existing cards got changed as well, and we're not gonna mention that. It didn't change. The monster faction didn't change that much, I suppose. In the Nilfgaard, like, none of the cards really jump out as like, wow, you gotta have it. And I suppose it's good. Like, you can have Ointment in the special spotter archetype, you know, where you just copy a one big strengthened unit with the spotter. Soldier archetype looks total garbage. So is the Witcher one, and this guy is like a total joke. He sees some play in the reveal archetype, but the reveal archetype is only relevant right now because many players are running big units, and which brings up the main relevant piece here is Yennefer, the Enchantress. She's by no means a must include by any means, but spawn a last bronze or silver spell you played. This basically means replay the Scorch. So that's what you want. You want to play a Scorch, then replay the Scorch with her, somewhat making her an 8-nay. So she's like a more restricted 8-nay. And right next to her we got Leto the Kingslayer, who can destroy an enemy leader on the board and sets up to 11. Actually that's a 10. Doesn't really matter. Point is, That you never use that. You use him as a Nilfgaard Natalis. You play a silver tactic card from your deck, or maybe a bronze one, because actually playing bronze reconnaissance is just fine. But you probably won't have a silver tactics card in your deck anyway. And nothing else is really relevant, so only Yennefer and Leto Kingslayer. Definitely not a must-have, especially if you're not running a Scorch deck, but Leto Kingslayer probably would get hey, he's the most relevant, and Yennefer is it's somewhat good. Like, just replaying a spell is not so bad. But I would recommend looking through all the spells before you consider crafting her, because they have their niche uses. Northern Realms. Well, I have to say the cursed archetype is not working so well. We do see Vinch in Hansult, so you spawn a machine, and you ideally a machine that you already included in your deck, and you get at the 3 other machines that you already added to your deck. Definitely not must have that, but it's usually included in the Hansult archetype, at least. Makes machines the ideal targets for Hansult. Other than that, the cursed archetype is basically a flop. It didn't really work out that well. It's not bad. It's okay. You can just do the cursed mage with the flail and the cursed knight. You should forget about the Cadwin Revenant, which is too slow and way too vulnerable, and the damn sorceress, which is just a conditional 11. Total trash. And nothing else here really. Like, of course you want to have this in the cursed archetype, but you probably shouldn't be using that anyway. If anything, the golds are really worth mentioning here, and I'm gonna start with the top one choice that you can consider and should consider crafting in Northern Realm is Van the Grift, who damages all enemies by 1. If unit is destroyed, apply Ragnarok to its row. So, like, think of it this way, like, even if you are playing this against let's just say your opponent has like a 1 strength dude on the board plus a 9 strength dude on the board, you're basically playing Van der Grift and doing 2 and applying a better. That's kind of like a fog. You're basically playing a Woodland Spirit at that point. And he can hit many 1 strength units, and they just apply many Ragnaroks on the board. Only problem with that is that if your opponent has a clear sky, he can just heal himself back up, but he hits pretty hard as well. So, like, if your opponent has a bunch of units, it's a long round, Van der Grift can be good. Only weakness and main weakness, especially in this meta, and actually this was the Gwent meta for a long time, is that he is not a finisher. And Gwent just lives and dies by the finishers. That's why Ciri Nova is such powerful card, and why it's so considered. But actually, well, considered to some cards, like she's just like just another one of those, because she's not like amazing. For example, Olaf is like a 20, and Nilfgaard can just put down guys that are 26, 29 bronzes. So that's good. And even that is kind of hard to, kind of tricky to win against the bear deck, so you guys will see. Anyway, Selkirk is the other one that I would consider in Northern Realm. He's a 17, as long as you can find a 10 at least. But he also has reach. He can kill units stronger than that. So, for example, you use him to kill a Bork, for example, if that's what you want. He has the potential to take out strong value generators. So, for example, if you see a, I don't know, like, let's say like 11 power ship that just keeps generating value, you can take it out. And while it would be impossible to do. Or, better example, you see a big foglet. You see an ancient foglet, it has 11 power, what you get. You maybe have a Scorch, you can take it out. Maybe like it's out of also range, but Selkirk can take it out, so it's definitely just something that you might want to consider. But I think Vandergrift is the real winner here, if you actually end up in many long rounds. But yeah, no realm. It's not that played right now, and it's mostly played as a hey, let's just play some Scorch. However, other factions can do that better. Scoia'tael! I got a little cheat sheet as well. So, I think the absolute best card here is probably Yorvet Meditation. He is not a finisher again. He can be a finisher on a long round, but like, you gotta consider like, what if you like down to 3 cards? You're down to 3 cards, 3rd round, do you want this in your hand? You don't want it. You don't want it in your hand. This is something again you can probably get a lot of value of. It can be like insane in a long round. Yeah, just imagine your opponent has like a 10 and a 15. You just use the 10 to hit the 15, that the 15 hits back, and whatever it goes on, and you just did a 22. So that's not so bad. And it doesn't take too much to get a lot of value from Yorvet Meditation. Overall, the Scoia'tael got a lot of good units like Half Elf, that's just a 12, and the Scoia'tael is a really good candidate for a Shoop deck if you want to have some fun. Or of course, the Ciri Nova deck is super easy to put together. Like you can basically put together a Shoop deck as well, because hey, the cards don't rely on synergies that much. But yeah, like there's no but to it. Like that is all. Another good gold is Xavier Moran. He can also kind of act like a finisher. You can boost him up. Also, he gets strengthened, boosted actually by the starting power, the last dwarf you played. Starting power, very important. So strength, it doesn't matter. It's not strengthened, it's not boosted, like nothing affects it. It's only starting power. So if you play a dude that has a 9 starting power, it doesn't matter if you strengthen him up to a 10. Now, starting power, very important. But you can still get him up to a very respectable 19 or 20. So it's not so bad. And it's good as a finisher. I've seen like Dwarf deck do well, and you guys said that like, wow, I just went with the Dwarf deck to 4,400, and it's a deck to watch out for. It's definitely probably a must-have finisher in Dwarf. Also, I'm personally a fan of Milan. She's not too hard to do 16. She's basically a crushing trap +4. Also, if that crushing trap might just get more value, she's not. You're not gonna look for the maximum value with her. It's just like something you might want, especially if you're running Yorvet. She's gonna get buffed by Yorvet, so that's a further extra point here. Of course, these are more like, well, this like Milan is something that you can use even out of archetype. I feel like even Paulie, like Paulie's another good one here. That resurrects a non-support bronze dwarf. So it's especially ideal with dwarven skirmishers that strengthen themselves. Then Paulie can resurrect that, and now you got a really juicy dwarf. It's a good card, even if you're just like running like only skirmishers or whatnot. But especially if you're running a dwarf on the deck, you can just boost him up with Dennis. So yeah, Scoia'tael has some decent options. Sadly, the items are not that exciting. No one is really running any of these. Maybe we'll see some of that, but it's not really the case right now. Maybe it goes a special mention to Philavandrel, who is complete garbage. If he had like 7 or 8 strength, then maybe someone would play it, because 8 is like a 5 that replaces a spell of your choice, and he's a 3 that creates a silver special card. And there are a lot of special cards. And you would need to be at least a 7 to really be considered over 8-nay. And I feel like their roles kind of conflict. Just in case you were thinking about crafting Philavandra, but I guess the same goes for the Usurper here. Also, Horse doesn't serve much purpose. And by the way, they gave Arrakis Queen away for free. Just right now. So at least maybe they're giving it away. I already got it, but some players said that they don't have it yet. So anyway, don't craft it, just wait for it. Ada, Leader Cursed. She's okay, but you definitely don't need her in the Cursed deck. So I would just like forget about her. Even if you're just going with the Cursed deck, you're probably just better off with some control. You might just want Rat of it or just some tempo. I just had to mention it because he's just so bad. Anyway, Skellige seems like the huge winner of this patch. And yeah, they also have their way to spawn well, just play a unit that has 12 strength straight away. Also synergetic with the bear archetype, can be resurrected, whatnot. He's definitely the show winner here. And of course, it's somewhat complained about. Not him, but the whole bear archetype. And that also have its finisher as Olaf. Is like just a straight up 20. And deal 10 damage to himself, which is damage inflicted by 2 for each play this match. So the point is, even if you play this out of beast stack and you have like an armor smith, you're probably not gonna be too unhappy to have Olaf in your deck. But obviously it's ideal to have it in a beast deck, and definitely a must include. The only other card that actually just would be just okay, but it's kind of ridiculous, is him, who plays a cursed unit from your deck. But he can play like the silver, he can play silvers too, which makes it a little bit better. But what can really break him in a way is that he can also spawn a silver unit from your opponent's deck. And it can be a spy, for example. And if your opponent like spawns a spy, like let's just say your opponent wins first turn, then it's second turn, let's just say he plays a spy, then spawns another spy with him, it's game over. As simple as that. I'm not fucking joking. It's over. Like if he plays a spy, it's over. And it's only silver units. So if you have like 2 spells in your deck, then okay, let's just say like if you have 3 spells in your deck, then he only gets to choose between 3 units, so he's always gonna get the spy. And you gotta have a spy in your deck for sure, because spies are OP. So that's it. So you gotta watch out for that. Like he's either really good tempo, or he's just like, wow, steals your spy. Or not steals your spy, but like copies a spy. Like just playing extra spies is just ridiculous. So of course, ideally you wanna win always. So as long as he plays a spy, he needs to overcome it. But if he's just like throwing you like 2 spies second turn, yeah, that you can just press the forfeit button. So it's kind of crap, and you don't need to go like full curse to really get value out of him. But yeah, just definitely a card to watch out for. Of course, like there are other cards that see play, like the Protector, but I just really pointed out the main ones to watch out for. And that's about it. I have ideas for other videos as well, such as State of the Meta, but I try to keep this separated. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.